Give an intro. Walk over here and give an intro.
You are at 109. Kobe. You hear about the soccer player? He had this beautiful woman, right? Married her. She decided she want to get divorced to him. They go get divorced. She find out ain't nothing in his name. Everything is in his mama's name. So when he wants something, he gotta go to his mother and she buy it for him. So all the houses, all the cars, they all belong to her. So when he got divorced, he was like, I don't own nothing. You ain't nothing for you to get. I was like, that's dastardly.
You're at 109 right now.
One, two, 1, 2. Hey everybody, welcome to the iSee109 podcast. I'm your host, Larry Wiggs, with my co-host, Big Mike. But he's really the star of the show, so let's give it up. Where's the... We're in here. All right, this is our second official videoed podcast. We've done others, but now you get a chance to see us in person. We're doing these in 9-minute segments. So with the equipment and everything that I've got set up, that's how we're going to do this. With this segment, I asked Big Mike to help me explain this work of art here. It's kind of a demo work of art. It's not the finished copy, but what happened is it came to me on the day, April 12th, the day that Nipsey's burial, which occurred 4 years ago on the anniversary, the four-year anniversary of Nipsey's burial. And this artwork is about Nipsey. So, Jean-Michel Basquiat, my favorite artist since 2005 when I learned about him, do some research, check him out, painted a painting, and although he had painted thousands of works, I had never seen this one particular work until I was watching a documentary about him in which they showed the painting, and I noticed that Jean-Michel had written or painted the number 109 on that painting. So I was excited. I jumped up. I grabbed my cell phone camera, took a photo of that painting, did some research into it. Give me a second here. Mike? Yeah, okay, all right. And okay, so what the heck did I do? I grabbed my phone and then I took the photo and posted it up to Facebook. And when I posted it to Facebook, I realized I had posted it, or I had snapped the photo and posted it very quickly. And the time at which I posted it was 11:09 p.m. So there in 11:09, there's 109 on the painting. It said 109. So I was immediately attracted and drawn to this painting. And since that happened, I've made that my favorite Jean-Michel Basquiat painting. But then it has taken on greater significance to me because I've read more. I've interpreted his artwork in a different way. And I want to share my interpretation here with Big Mike.
All right, so let's see. It says across the top, going left to right, Nipsey Hussle, The Great, Part 2, and there's a copyright sign. What does that mean?
All right, so on the original Jean-Michel Basquiat artwork, which is entitled All Color Cast, Basquiat wrote Alexander the Great. So I changed it to Nipsey Hussle the Great, not because I want to, pay homage to Nipsey. I do, but because Nipsey called himself the Great. I was in class the other day trying to convince the students that Nipsey had called himself the Great. And I told them to look at his Instagram account, but his Instagram account is entitled Nipsey Hussle. And they were like, shut up, you're not making any sense. I was wrong. It's his Twitter account. Nipsey Hussle's Twitter account, his title is The Great. So there's a connection between Alexander the Great, probably Nipsey borrowed from his title and called himself, put himself in that position. So that's a connection right there, but it doesn't stop there. Alexander the Great was a Macedonian or a Greek leader. Nipsey Hussle's brand is called the Marathon. A marathon or the marathons come from Greece. The legend has it, there was a war in the city of Marathon. There was a marathoner who ran from the war to notify the people that they were victorious, that there was victory. So I've already said marathon and I've already said victory with related to Alexander the Great. If Nipsey Hussle's brand wasn't called Marathon, the Marathon Clothing, the Marathon Collective, and if Nipsey didn't name his album Victory Lap, I would have no connection, no association to Nipsey and this painting. But there it is right there.
All right, so we go down to the Roman numerals. In Roman numerals, we have a 3, a 21, a 31, and 2019. What does that signify?
All right. So on the original painting, Basquiat wrote Roman numerals, but those Roman numerals didn't mean anything. They were just basically gobbledygook. They didn't mean anything. You can't convert them into real numbers. So I decided to take the same idea, but give some meaning or significance, because I think this painting was about Nipsey Hussle. So I took the Roman numerals for the date that Nipsey was killed, March 31st, 2019, and I put that in there. And that date is significant, sadly, because Nipsey was killed on that day, but also because the Jean-Michel Basquiat exhibit opened in Los Angeles this year in 2023 on March 31st. So that's the parallel between the two.
All right. So you have the words drachm, phlegm, and thumb, and next to it an arrow with patois. What do those things mean?
I think that Jean-Michel was talking about linguistics. First, he mentioned Alexander the Great, but and in that sense, he was talking about history. I think now he's talking about linguistics. And I think Jean-Michel said something like the English language is weird, because he lists 3 words that are spelled differently, but they all have the same final syllabic sound. For instance, the words are dram, phlegm, thumb. All right, so linguistics. And patois is a word that refers to linguistics, but it's one of those, it's a derogatory, it's a slighted word to say your language is not really a language, It's a diminished way of describing someone's mother tongue.
All right, there's a crown, and then there's Floyd Joy Mayweather Jr., and the number's 109-2356.
All right, so the crown is emblematic of all of Jean-Michel Basquiat's work, but also emblematic of all graffiti artists, because the crown was significant, right? So you can't have a Basquiat work without a crown. Basquiat painted a crown in it. I painted a crown. I put a crown on this one. Basquiat, in the original work, wrote the name of a boxer, and he wanted to pay homage to that boxer. That boxer was Jersey Joe Walcott. Well, today, Jersey Joe Walcott is not someone that we know. My grandmother, she's 93 years old. She remembers Jersey Joe Walcott, but today we don't know Jersey Joe Walcott. So I tried to update the work and added a name that we do know, Floyd Mayweather. Apparently, according to Wikipedia, his middle name is Joy. So Floyd Joy Mayweather Jr. I put his name there. Now, what I love about this work of art and why it's my favorite, the original has the numbers 109 in it.
You're at 109 right now.
You did. Mike is going to sleep on me, man.
All right, so what is the 235?
Okay, so when Basquiat created the work, he, according to Albert Diaz was Basquiat's friend. I interviewed Al Diaz last year. He told me that that's a library, like a Dewey Decimal System. It's a library code. Basquiat had just taken a random library code and put it on the painting. But it so happened to have 109 as the first three numbers, which resonates with me, which I love. So the SIC, I think, stands for Standard Industrial Categorization, something like that.
Okay. All right, so now we have 6 next to the word liver with an arrow, 7 next to the word lungs with an arrow. What are those? What's the significance of that?
All right, so Basquiat was listing things. He put a 6 and he wrote liver, and then he put 7 and he listed lungs. The number 6 and the number 7, well, I can't say that has any significance or any correlation to Nipsey directly. I think I can make up something, but overtly, instantly, it doesn't speak out to me. But the words liver and lungs, but there's also the word chest in there. The point is, or the correlation is this: Nipsey was shot in his chest, and Nipsey was shot in his liver and his lungs. The liver and the lungs are primarily the largest organs in the chest. Well, Nipsey was shot in his chest and in his liver and his lungs, according to the Los Angeles Times article that I read. Now, what's really peculiar is also on that painting, the original painting, Jean-Michel Basquiat wrote the number 47. 4 plus 7 equals 11. And according to the Los Angeles Times report, Nipsey Hussle was killed after being shot 11 times.
All right. There's a caricature of a man. What does that mean?
All right, we're gonna stop right here. We've already gone a couple of minutes over the 10-minute mark. So let's come back to the man, the image of the man. All right.
All right.
You're at 109 right now.
Still gonna be a little tacky.
Why don't you just...
You're at 109 right now.
I know this is not your place, but it'd be dope if you put a ceiling fan like right up there.
You can open the windows on. We're on now.
So you want to get back to this conversation?
Yes, sir.
All right. So when last we spoke, I asked you about the caricature of the man. I'm thinking this is a self-portrait of you.
No, not at all. Okay, let's go back to 109.
We already did that.
But we have to do it again because for this segment, we have to start from 109.
All right. So we have the numbers 109-235 with sick in parentheses. What does that mean?
Well, all right. So I talked with Albert Diaz, Jean-Michel Basquiat's best friend, cohort, creators of the art brand of Samo, right? Co-creator. They were working together, two minds together. Albert told me that 109-235 in parentheses SIC is a library code that Jean-Michel picked up and just randomly posted, on painted on the painting. I'm glad that he put those numbers up there because 109, that resonated with me. So I was like, cool, let's run with it. Now, the way I discovered this is I was watching a documentary one night. I saw 109 on the painting, jumped up, grabbed my phone, took a photo of it, and posted about it to Facebook. And when I posted about it to Facebook, it was 11:09 p.m. So within the time 11:09 p.m., you have 109. On the painting, you have 109. I have these moments where I just find 109, and I thought that was an interesting correlation. So the fact that he wrote 109 on his painting basically makes this my favorite painting. It's just a random thing, a random happenstance, that he actually took these numbers and threw them on his painting. But it was peculiar, the way that I discovered them, that night watching that documentary. And so that's that.
Looked up 109-235 on the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah. Okay. Not the Dewey Decimal System, but standard industrial categorization. Yeah. 109-235 is like a metal, like a silver or copper. On that, that's the standard industrial categorization, or at least metals fall under 109-something.
Interesting. All right, so
see, I like when Big Mike says interesting, because the point here is for me to tell these stories, but for them to resonate with people somehow. And if you think the story is interesting, then I'm getting where I really want to be. I want to captivate minds with this story. Like, dang, yo, did you hear about this? Check this out. This is, that's where I want it to be. That's the start of it.
So below that we have liver 6 next to liver with an arrow, a 7 next to lungs with an arrow, and then the word chest. What do these things mean?
Well, the numbers, not Nipsey, but Basquiat is listing things like as you would find them listed in a book with a legend. This is number 6 and this is what it means, and et cetera, et cetera. But the fact that Basquiat wrote liver and lungs is highly significant, because I make the connection between Nipsey and Basquiat's painting. You see, Nipsey was shot in his liver and in his lungs. There's also a mention of chest. The word chest is written by Basquiat in the work. The liver and the lungs are located in the chest. They are some of the largest organs in the chest cavity. So when Nipsey was shot in his liver and in his lungs. I think it's interesting that Basquiat did not write spleen, kidneys, or any other organ which he could have, but he chose liver and lungs. That's directly related to Nipsey. And then there's the number 47. 47 is written on the painting by Basquiat. Apparently it was random, but Nipsey was shot 11 times, and 4 plus 7 is 11.
Okay, let's see. You have a caricature of a man. What is this about?
So Basquiat would make a crude drawing of a person, and oftentimes he would paint himself. These would be self-portraits. You have the image of a man, for better or for worse. However it's not an exact image. It's a very crude work of a man, of a figure, of a human figure. I was in the class the other day, and the students looked at it and they were just like, ugh, that looks like a monkey. Say that again.
Is it a caricature of you?
Say that again.
Is this a caricature of you?
No, absolutely not. It has nothing to do with me. This was Jean-Michel Basquiat's representation of perhaps himself, but I believe, and I want to say, and I want to interpret this as an image of Nipsey Hussle, because
It doesn't look like Nipsey Hussle.
it doesn't look like him. But there's a photo of Nipsey taken in Japan where Nipsey, you see his body, and then behind him or near him, you see the number 109. In this photo, you have a picture of a male, what I believe is a male figure, and you have the numbers 109. So that's the correlation, the association I make. So there it is.
All right, let's see. You have the word Japan with
Eritrea,
and you have 2 arrows going towards Japan and 1 arrow going towards Eritrea, and you have 2 copyright signs. What does that mean?
The copyright signs are that's the convention. Albert Diaz and Jean-Michel Basquiat, when they would sign their tags with SAMO, they would put the copyright sign. It was a cool thing for them to do. That was just, their thing. So that's why that's there. I'm trying to stay true to the original artist, creation. But here's the thing. Jean-Michel Basquiat wrote China on the original painting. In this one, that in my interpretation and what I'm bringing forth, I put Japan. Well, China and Japan are both Asian countries. They're not very far from each other. So in this edition, this upgrade, I'm calling your attention to Nipsey, and I'm saying the photo that Nipsey took in Japan that has 109 on it was taken in Japan. Excuse me. Even though the original was China. Now, the reason Jean-Michel Basquiat wrote Haiti on his painting on the original is because he was from Haiti. At least I believe that's why. Even though in this painting he may have been talking about economics and may have been talking about a trade deficit, because he drew lines, arrows pointing, 2 arrows pointing away from Haiti toward China, and then 1 from China back to Haiti. So I interpret that as being, hey, the Chinese are maybe taking resources from Haiti and returning little to the Haitian people. And I don't think that's far off from the truth in any trade imbalance around the globe with a more powerful nation,
I'm not a scholar of trade imbalances, but I believe the Japanese were more involved with Jamaica than Haiti, if my memory serves.
Okay. I'm not
So
here.
Who knows if that's even true?
But what
I believe the French were still heavily involved, and the United States is definitely involved in the let's say economic exploitation. Even to this day, they recently had 4 or 5 government contractors go over to Haiti to try to overthrow a popular government, and they were caught by some Haitian police officers, and the diplomat for Haiti actually escorted them personally to the airport to get them out of the country before they could be prosecuted. Now, you and I, as expats, and more so me than you, I've been arrested in several countries, and the embassy didn't send anybody to do anything for me. But let's continue. Was this like a thigh bone or something?
We're gonna have to cut down. Yes, who knows what kind of bone it is, but Basquiat put the bone.
Femur.
He's definitely interjecting or calling our attention to the anatomy. So in this painting, he's talking about linguistics, history, anatomy, economics, you name it.
Camera's off.
Yep. Gotta go.
You're at 109 right now.
All right, that's the end of this section. This is the end of the video portion. So we're gonna move into just chopping it up.
The sexual portion.
What is this, Negro? All right, oh man.
Hello? Yeah.
Into the microphone. You should speak in. Be careful grabbing the microphone though.
So you want me to put this black thing next to my face?
It's a microphone, man.
Nah.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
It's actually too loud.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, it's too loud.
What's too loud?
All the sounds coming into my ears.
Oh. Your ears? How about that?
Yeah, that's better. Hey, Larry. Is this,
1 2.
this
Yeah,
is
it's
you
too loud, right?
At that dude's house.
No, Negro. This Negro wants to start off with some of this wild.
Welcome to the Dirty Larry Show, where we tell Dirty Larry stories. This episode of Dirty Larry comes from the year 1997.
Why is there the audio is like there's like an echo. It sounds like we're in an auditorium. We don't have this room isn't treated. Hasn't
You
been
should go
treated.
to McDonald's and get some of those plastic containers and stick them to the walls.
Right.
Actually, you can just go on Amazon and just buy.
Right. Treat the walls. 1 2
You
1
probably
2.
wouldn't have to do that many walls, just like just this wall back here.
Picking up some little audio. All right, this is our test. So that's been our test. Good thing that was a test. All right, so I'm gonna test the audio and see how it picked up in over there. So, just a test. So
Just the tip.
it sounded a lot better in that room. The room is better acoustically.
Dirty Larry presents Just the Tip.
All right, let's go. All right, that's only 2 minutes, so that should have some good audio pickup. Let me check
This is a good setup though that you can.